Hey guys, I'm Joe.
And I'm Rachel, and we're here to talk about missionally living.
So I think I was first challenged with missional living in college after a spring break mission trip. My college ministry just spent a week living in the city with the people we were serving, and part of me felt that it was too short. Long-term mission trips would be so much more effective. At the end of that trip, we had a bringing it back home discussion. What would it look like if the same type of community, the same type of focus on evangelism and discipleship, and the same fervency and prayer that we had on that short-term mission trip was infused into our everyday life? I mean, for those of you who have been on a mission trip before, who wouldn't want that kind of community, that kind of joy that comes from intentionally praying and serving together? God began working in my heart, and I saw the dorms where I was living as my full-time mission field. 70 people living, eating, studying, playing together for a whole year. Believers, fellow laborers within several hundred feet of me, the same purpose, to know Jesus and to make him known. Upperclassmen were starting to move from their apartments back into the dorms to live intentionally. And at the same time, there are many people from my college ministry who decided to move into the same apartment complex together. I'm talking about more than 20 believers from the same local body. It was incredible to see that short-term mission trip mentality come to life fully lived. When James called me several weeks ago to connect me and Sarah with Rachel Furnish, he mentioned that Rachel had asked if we wanted to move into her apartment complex where she was already doing ministry. It didn't take long for us to pray through that one, and we moved just about 2 weeks ago.
I've had several experiences with missional living, including some multi-week mission trips, but my most noteworthy experiences around this topic were also when I was in college. The church I attended was very intent on equipping us to share about Jesus with the communities among which we lived. Our version of GCGs was actually called missional communities, or MCs. My first MC was primarily composed of Christ followers living in or near my dorm, and we were able to invite many non-believers into a deeper understanding of the Christian faith by organizing events and by inviting them to our weekly Bible studies, and sometimes even to church. After that, I joined a couple of goer missional communities, or GMCs, where the focus was on actively seeking out new relationships with people we didn't even know yet, but with whom we crossed paths due to our living, working, or transportation situations. Not only did GMC members commit to reading and discussing Bible passages together each week, but we also committed to weekly communal prayer and 2 hours of fishing for men each week. These experiences in missional living alongside other believers have shaped the way I live and given me the opportunity to see the work of God in people's hearts and souls in a way that I never would have gotten to experience by myself. Sharing about Jesus and being intentional about new friendships with neighbors is so much easier when you know you're not spiritually or geographically isolated from other believers. In the couple of weeks since Joe and Sarah have been living at my apartment complex, I've already been so encouraged by their presence, enthusiasm, and joy in the Lord. It's true what Psalm 133:1 says, "Behold how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity."
So our encouragement to you, especially if you're considering moving soon, is to reach out to others in our body and consider moving into the same neighborhood. For those of you who are not moving, if you haven't already done so, we encourage you to pray about what it would look like if you were sent out to your neighborhood or apartment complex on a long-term mission trip. And you have a job somewhere nearby, and your family gets to come with you, and there's also others on your mission team living close to you, within several miles. Missions is meant to be done together as the church, and we are on a mission trip together right now in the greater Atlanta area. Let's keep spurring one another on.